What's up, everybody? I'm Adam. You're watching the Model Aviator channel, and this week we're taking a look at the latest from E-Flite. Now, the cat's been out of the bag on this one for a while. You've probably seen it. This is the E-Flite UMX Slow Ultra Stick. This one is, of course, inspired by the 1.2 meter Slow Ultra Stick, but also, and more so, the old Park Zone Ember, if you remember that. This is a simple slow flyer. There is a little bit of assembly required, very little. We'll explain why in a bit. It is as easy to get together as it looks like it would be. There's only 4 parts. The gear slide into a slot at the bottom of the front wing mount. The wing has snaps on the leading and trailing edges, and they just snap into place on the front and rear wing mounts. The prop has a mount on the back, and there are grooves on the main gear of the gearbox. You'll take your prop, press it flush against that gear, hold the gear steady, and if you're looking at it from the front of the airplane, rotate it clockwise until it locks into place, and that's it. She's together. The UMX SUS has a 19.74 inch wingspan. It's 17.39 inches long. Our example weighs 1.64 ounces, ready to fly. It has a Spectrum receiver and ESC micro board, a Spectrum brushed 8.5 millimeter motor, and is intended for use with 1S 150 milliamp packs with the JST PH 1.25 connector. Since the UMX SUS is a lightweight ultra-micro slow flyer, you can fly it just about anywhere. When you're outside, pretty much pick your place, and as long as the winds are low, you'll be good. When it comes to indoor venues, you can fly this thing anywhere from a large garage to gymnasiums. Just depends on how good the pilot is and how comfortable you get with the airplane. It is a 4-channel airplane out of the box. You'll have elevator, rudder, throttle control, and you can use that 4th channel to switch between AS3X and optional Safe Select, which it comes equipped with. If you're using the compatible Spectrum transmitter, you'll also get some smart telemetry. You'll get flight log information, minimum and maximum voltage information, AS3X and safe limit settings, gyroscope settings, and a G-meter. This airplane is sold in 2 versions, a bind and fly and an all-inclusive ready to fly. Both will come in the same box, and this box size is significant. That box size costs less to ship, which means in turn they can sell the airplanes to you for less. That is the reason that there's a tiny bit of assembly involved with this one. If you buy the ready to fly, you're going to get the airplane. You'll get a free trial version of the Real Flight Trainer Edition RC Flight Simulator. You'll get a charger, a battery, a USB-C cable, and the Spectrum SLT6lp Transmitter. Now, the interesting thing about this cable is you can use it with your charger. You can also use it to plug into the back of this transmitter and a PC and use this transmitter to fly and learn with that free trial of the flight sim. If you buy the bind and fly, it is a dual protocol receiver board, which means that if you're one of the people that bought one of the Apprentice Stol S's that came with this transmitter, it was the first airplane to come with that transmitter, you can use that transmitter on the bind and fly version of this airplane. It'll bind right to it. It also is compatible to DSMX Spectrum protocol, which means that you can use a modern day Spectrum transmitter, bind it to that. That's what we did. We bound it to our NX7E Plus, and you can fly the airplane that way. Now, a couple of quick notes. This SLT protocol, some of you may be familiar with that when it comes to tactic transmitters. None of those are compatible, just this SLT protocol in this particular transmitter. And if you need the full skinny on this transmitter, we'll put a link in the description to our video on the Apprentice Stol S. There's a chapter on this transmitter in that video where we tell you everything you could possibly need to know about that one. One really neat feature is the prop installation itself. It's actually a quick detach prop, so if you have a prop strike, prop just comes off, and then you can just put it right back on, and you're ready to rock and roll again. And there's an accessory light kit for this for night flying. The setup is very simple. If you buy the ready to fly, it's already bound to the transmitter that it comes with, and everything is already set up for you. The manual, if you're new to the hobby, will take you through what all of the controls on the transmitter make the airplane do and how they work. If you buy the Bind and Fly, the manual takes you through step by step how to program your transmitter, and it's very simple for this airplane. And when you bind it, AS3X and SAPE will automatically be programmed to your gear switch. And the way this board is programmed with either version, rudder and elevator are going to be on the right gimbal if you're flying mode 2. So the aileron and elevator gimbal is going to handle both axes for the 2-axis control, and your left gimbal will simply be throttle. So very, very simple. The manual also lists a balance point, but that really doesn't matter, to be honest. It's just not a big deal with this airplane. If you are using some of the new Spectrum 150 milliamp one cell packs, if you have any of the old E-Flite 150 milliamp one cell packs for some of the other ultra micros Horizon Hobby has made, these will work fine. You put either of these in the center of that battery tray and just let her rip. The only other thing you really have to be worried about is making sure that your control surfaces are centered at neutral before you fly the first time, and of course that they're moving the right way. And for new people, the manual will take you through how to do that. So we're not even going to do a setup page. There's just not a need for it. Our timer is set for 5 minutes. We're flying with the 150 milliamp packs. We're at 100% rates on rudder and elevator with 10% expo. That's pretty much it. So we're going to get straight to the flying. Check this out. We'll meet you back here. We'll give you our final thoughts. I have to admit, I had my doubts that AS3X would be very effective on an airplane this simple, but we're in a tiny bit of breeze on this morning, and other than being able to tell when the airplane turns directly into the wind, you really can't tell the breeze is even there. This thing is super easy to fly. Touch and goes are fun, and I even managed a little bit of a one-wheel touch and go. Have to do it turning, but it's not that hard. For a simple 2-axis control slow flyer, you have a decent amount of maneuverability, loops, wingovers, tight turns, pretty easy to do. And a nice property of an airplane like this is even in AS3X mode, when you center the stick, all that dihedral tends to have a self-righting effect on the airplane. In addition to the prop that will just detach rather than break on a strike, as you can see, the gear is a little wonky there. If you hit a bump like I did, or if you have a hard landing, the gear will just come out of the mount rather than break the gear or the mount, and you can get it slow enough to catch it. Not my best catch, I admit, but a catch. On this flight, we're in a tight corridor. I've got a building in front of me, a building to my right, and I'm staying against the building behind me. There's a bit of wind coming in there and it's swirling. We're giving the AS3X a workout, but it's working out. We tested that detachable prop for you. We hit a wall. We hit a phone line. And we hit the ground. It works. It checks all the boxes, does everything it's advertised to do. Very effective little slow flyer. You can fly it really slow, or you can speed it up a bit, get in the power, and it will do some mild aerobatics, things like loops, wingovers, stuff like that. You're quite limited with 2-axis control and given what it is, but you don't have to just fly around super slow all the time if you don't want to. And because it can fly so slow, you can fly it just about anywhere. It's completely remote ID exempt, which means legally you can turn just about any spot that you can handle flying it into your flying area for the day, including a lot of indoor venues. Now, Horizon says this is a skill level 2 airplane, which is first airplane after a trainer. Absolutely agree with that. If you can handle pretty much any trainer, you can handle this. But I think it has a lot of potential to be a skill level 1 airplane, an actual trainer, particularly in the ready-to-fly version. If you are on a budget, if you are one of those people that's looking to kind of dabble in the hobby, get your feet wet, see if it's something you'd like to invest more in at some point without a large initial investment, the ready-to-fly version of this, really good airplane for that. At $150, considering what you get, and the free trial of the Real Flight Trainer Edition is worth its weight in gold there. If you're new, you can use this transmitter, use this cord with that simulator, get a little bit of experience, a little bit of training, and when you go out, you have a very good chance of having success with an airplane that is that easy to fly, and you'll be doing it with that same transmitter. So I think it has the potential to fulfill that need for certain people. The bind and fly is $120. I think that's a really good deal for that. And obviously, experienced pilots, once you get a bit of experience, you can come up with a lot of different ways to get creative with airplanes like this and make it a bit of a challenge. Landing on really short, different things, tables, stuff like that, flying it through stuff, seeing how tight of an area you can manage to fly it in. A lot of different ways to get creative and have a blast with something like this. So if you decide that you'd like to add one of these to your hangar, or maybe start a hangar with one, we'll put some links in the description where you can do just that. When you go through those links, it doesn't cost you more. You can sign in if you have an account with Horizon Hobby or Tower Hobbies, and you can redeem any points that you have. But when you go through those links, it supports us. We get a little bit of a commission and lets them know that you like what we're doing here at Model Aviator. So when you do that, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. That is it for us. Happy flying. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you next week with something cool with wings.